Whole dead fish. Ever wondered what a real Taiwan apartment's like? Let's check it out together. We'll start on the outside, and as you'll see immediately, we live in a very typical older style apartment area. We're here in the northern suburbs of Taipei, Danshui. This is our building over here. We are on the second floor. As you can see, it's an older type building, although not as old as many of the other buildings you'll see in the area. If you just look down the street, you can get an idea of the mix of ages of these buildings. Many of them would have been built in the 60s or the 70s. You can also see that at the bottom of each apartment building, you've got different stores. So there's a spa or nail salon here at our place and another one just across the road. This is one of our favorite breakfast spots right over here. May or may are we making a video about breakfast there. They are absolutely amazing. Many people here in Taiwan live down lanes and alleys. The street down here past our apartment is actually a street. Jiangxinjie is the name of the street, or I guess Long Happiness Street. But coming off it are these lanes. Let me show you some examples of just how narrow these lanes can get. Okay, so we're now in another lane that may be familiar to you from another video that I've shot, but you can see just how narrow it is down here. This isn't even wide enough for a single car to fit down. Incredibly narrow. This is very common, and oftentimes you can get lanes even narrower than this. But here I am back at our apartment. Although there's still plenty of buzz from scooters and you can still hear them at 3 or 4 a.m. and although we're only one floor up, so very close to the street noise, we're also very close to a main thoroughfare and to public transport. So walk with me down this way to see just how fantastic this location is. And just like that, we're down on a main thoroughfare. There's a bus stop just down here. There are roughly 26 different bus routes served from that one bus stop over there. And of course, just over here, we've got the lifeblood of Taiwan, a 7-Eleven. Taiwan has possibly the highest density of 7-Elevens and other convenience stores. Words to live by. Just a short distance down this way, about a 3 or 4 minute walk, is Danshui train station. You can potentially see it peeking out just there, right down the back with the big Chinese style roof, and that is where we hop on the subway every day. So incredibly convenient living, but we're fortunate to be up that quiet alleyway. Let's go check out the inside. The older style buildings in traditional neighborhoods like we are staying in at the moment are all walk-ups. So they're typically 4, maybe 5 floors, but stairs only. So let's check it out. It's a little bit dark in here. This is a very typical door for entrance to these buildings here in Taiwan. You've got the push button over here to exit, and typically you just enter by key, or there's an intercom here so you can buzz people up. A little bit like you'd see in an apartment building, perhaps in the US. But let's go up the stairs. Now, what you often see in these old style apartment buildings is there's multiple floors, of course, and so there's other apartments up here. Let's go up and have a look at these first. They put shoe racks here outside the front of the house so that they don't have to wear any shoes inside, of course. And then you come up here, it's the next floor. This one's nice and tidy. They've obviously got the shoe rack inside. And then up to the final floor, up to here. Now this is a very low ceiling, you can see right here above my head. It just offers access to the roof space. Often in these buildings, people will build illegal additional dwellings on the roof space. Just another place that they can rent out for some extra cash, or potentially somewhere where they can go to relax or have almost an outdoor space upstairs. But let's go and check out our apartment once I've caught my breath. Here goes. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that apartments in Taiwan, because they are small, there's not a huge amount of space. You're not going to have a big foyer area in the entrance. As I said already, you may have a shoe cabinet outside, just outside the door. People often do that to save space. But all you've got are these different color tiles here to demarcate that this is the area for dirty outdoor shoes. This is where you step into your slippers that you wear indoors. and now you may proceed into the rest of the house. Now we're really fortunate. We have an amazing apartment. Does not come complete with a wife, that I had to provide myself separately. But you can see that you've got a really big space here. It's actually a really spacious apartment by Taiwan standards. So remember to have a think about what you think we should be paying for an apartment like this in this location that I've already shown you, and I'll give you all the details on that at the end. Because we got this off Airbnb, obviously it came fully furnished, but you can see there's enough space for a big TV over here. You've got a fridge in a slightly unusual location. The kitchen's down there. I'll talk about that in a minute, but you've got to use every square centimeter of your space well, and so they've chosen to put it over here. And it's got even a nice dining table here, and there's plenty of space here for us to pull out that table. Another thing I love about this apartment is have a look at the big windows that we have. We're on a corner, and so we have windows sort of wrapping around all the way here, which is great. That's not something you always get in an apartment in Taiwan. Another thing I should have mentioned about the TV is it comes with cable. So here in Taiwan, cable TV is still really popular. Sure, people do have Netflix and subscription services, but typically this is what people watch. And what's really awesome about cable TV here is all the movies and documentary channels and so on, news channels, are all in English with Chinese subtitles. So if you do speak English and you don't speak Mandarin, you can still follow along, watch your movie as you would at home. So let's come through here and talk about the kitchen. Now, kitchens are often really, really small in Taiwan. One place I lived was a total of 18 square meters. That's about 200 square meters in size, including the balcony. My kitchen was literally just a kitchen sink out on my balcony outside. But here we've actually done really well. So we've got quite a bit of counter space. They've got this extra desk here. Again, everything's sort of provided for us because it is an Airbnb in terms of microwave and kettle and some cutlery and utensils. But one thing you will notice is missing is an oven. No ovens. So ovens are very uncommon in Taiwan. Most people don't cook using them. And so you're going to be limited to using your stove or your microwave over here if you want to do any of your cooking at home. I've already made another video that you can check out on how recycling and rubbish collection works in Taiwan, but you can see here is our stash over here. You've got a paper storage bin. This one is for plastics. We've actually just put all our plastic bottles and so on here in a giant bag that can be recycled. And again, cans have to be recycled separately. We've got our own fridge over here, and when we arrived, fully stocked with whole dead fish. Yes, this is a really big deal in Taiwan. People will often eat whole fish. And a couple more fish. Now moving through to the bathroom. Again, like many parts of Asia, the bathroom is a wet room. Okay, so someone's had a shower here. I think we've all had showers this morning, and the floor is actually quite sopping despite our best efforts to keep it clean. We've got a shower curtain over here, and we've got a squidgy over there that we use to sort of bring the water back into the shower area after our shower, but it still gets really wet. What I love about this bathroom, and which is quite uncommon in Taiwan, is you've got a window. I love having a window in a bathroom, but because space is at such a premium here, often bathrooms are on inside walls, and so you seldom actually have a window. So when I saw this place on Airbnb, I thought I really want that one because I love a window in the bathroom. It allows you to dry out the room as well, so it doesn't feel as humid in there, because of course it gets so hot here and so humid. Now, into the master bedroom. Now, because this isn't Airbnb, we actually have 2 queen-size beds in the master bedroom. Of course, if you were living here, you'd presumably only have one. This room is absolutely massive by Taiwan standards. I measured it earlier. It's about 200 square feet. This, if you can imagine, was the entire size of my whole apartment that I had when I used to live here, in one of the places I lived at least. And so it's really quite well kitted out. You've got a nice closet over here, comes with a dresser. Elizabeth's been using that, and for work as well. It also has plenty of power plugs, which you don't always see in apartments like this, although they're in slightly random places halfway up the wall. There's another one over here. But this is really a fantastic master bedroom. Now, if we come through to the second bedroom, this one's also got a person in it, also not included in the price.
My Rubik's Cube. I'm so close.
Okay, she's trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. It's one of the challenges of the holiday. Not a bad sized room. It's got these 2 single beds in here, so not bad at all. Big chest of drawers here that Grace is using to store all her stuff. But you'll see here that it has a window that does not open to the outside. It opens to Elizabeth. It's actually been quite helpful for us having a young child who can then go to sleep in there and not be distracted by noise out here or outside her window. Let's talk bedding. Taiwanese people love firm beds, and by firm beds I mean concrete. Have a look at this. This is the bed we're not using. I am pushing down as hard as I can and the bed is not moving. A couple of days after arriving, I actually had to go out and buy Elizabeth another mattress topper over here, just so that she could get a decent night's sleep. On my side of the bed, I've added in several blankets that were here in the apartment, just here under the bedding. If you're moving here, you can go and buy your own mattress and look for a nice soft one. But if you're renting and it comes with a mattress, be warned, you may have to go and get a mattress topper. I filmed most of the apartment review video a couple of weeks ago, but a lot has happened since then, most notably a 6.6 earthquake a few nights ago. So I've put on the same shirt so you'll think that it's the same day, and I'm going to tell you about something you probably won't even be able to see for yourselves. But I'm down here on the floor in the kitchen area near the bathroom, and since the earthquake, the floor has lifted here. So there's a clear mound when you walk over this area. You come down to this end, you can hear some of the tiles are loose here. Some of these were loose already, but there are additional loose tiles in this area over here now.
Up.
Yeah, you go up over here and down over here. All part of apartment living in earthquake-prone Taipei. All right, so we're on to the final room of the house, and that is in fact the balcony. Now, I've called it a room because in some ways it is. This is very common here in Taiwan for balconies to be barred, okay? So people are very safety conscious. This is covered in various types of metal bars. So this is an enclosed area. As Elizabeth said, you could actually have cats here. There's plenty of feral street cats around that you could adopt. Balconies are typically used for two things: for washing, and it's used for storing all your cleaning materials. So typically your mop and your broom and so on. Obviously they also have the hot water cylinder over here and the air conditioner external unit over here as well. One thing you will see is that is an absolutely tiny hot water cylinder. I think it's probably a 90 liter. It's about half the size of the one we have at home. So 2 to 3 showers and you have no hot water left. Because balconies are typically dirty places, you're also going to have a separate pair of slippers that you wear when you come out onto the balcony. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this apartment and this location. Is this a place you could see yourself living? What did you think were the best parts of this apartment and location, and what didn't you like? Comment down below. So how much are we paying for this apartment? We are in a really great location here. We're not in downtown Taipei. It is about 35 to 40 minutes on the subway. I showed you where the subway station was. It's about 4 or 5 minutes walk from here. But we are located very, very close to pretty much anything we could need in terms of restaurants and 7-Elevens and supermarkets, foot and nail spas. We're paying about 40,000 new Taiwanese dollars. That's about 1,300 US dollars a month for the month that we're spending in this apartment here. If you are living here and renting an apartment of this size, it's about 640 square feet or 58 square meters or so in size. You'd probably pay about 1,000 US dollars a month. You'd probably also be liable for your cable TV fees and your utilities. So altogether, you'd probably be looking at about 35,000 Taiwanese dollars a month. Take care. Whole dead fish.